So why did we choose Portugal for our retirement early / vacation home / place to visit / country to move in from all the countries in the world? One of the main reasons was that Portugal is an EU country, and us being EU citizen as well, this was very easy for us to travel around Europe and stay in the country of our choosing, the 90 days that the law permits, and even more than 90 days that the law permits. The thing that you couldn't do in the States, Australia, an Asian country, because you would have to deal with visas and permits and a lot of bureaucracy just to be able to be in that country. So for us, choosing an EU country was related to the fact that we are EU citizen, and everything was just easy for us. It was fairly important for us to go and experiment the life before we made the actual move. So we weren't the type of people to just sell everything and move. We wanted to go there to see how the people live, but not really in a vacation. Go there and sit for a while and see how life really is, the day-to-day life. And we couldn't do that fairly easy in another, continent. So less bureaucracy, less papers to deal with, a lot of freedom to move in and out of the country because we were EU citizens. Another reason that was on our personal list was the political stability, and this may come as a surprise because I don't know if anyone else thinks about that, but for us it was very important to be in a country that is politically stable. Of course, nobody can predict the future. We don't know what awaits for us. We don't know what it is just around the corner. But in terms of what we could gather information and what we could assess for ourselves, we felt that Portugal was a fairly safe country. Also a very safe country in terms of terrorist attacks or things like that. We also came from a country that doesn't have terrorist attacks, but we didn't want to move in a country that has. For us, it's kind of a definitive move. We don't plan to stay here for a year or two and then move it to another country. For us, we want to be the country, the last move we make. We want to live here like forever. So it was very important to think about the future. Another important thing for us, and especially for me, was that I didn't want to choose a city, a capital or a large city. I wanted to be in nature. So we came from a capital, a large city, which is noisy and is polluted. And we didn't like the place we were living at. So I wanted for this move to be something close to nature. I'm not really the type that goes camping, but I want to see green things around me, and I want to breathe a fresh air and not a polluted air, and I want to be able to go on hikes and walks. The fact that Portugal has such a beautiful landscape and also such a diverse landscape, so you can find around 50 kilometers also the sea but also the mountains. If you really want to go and visit a large city, or you need to be in a large city, you can take a train. In 3.5 hours you are in Lisbon. You can be in a short amount of time also in the capital of the country, but also close to nature. This was very appealing to me, the fact that I don't have to spend a lot of time to get to one place to another. I don't think I did mention, but we moved to Algarve area, so we are not in Lisbon, in the capital, because it was really important to me to be in nature and not in a large city. Also, we make our money outside Portugal, so we didn't really need to be in a large city. Also, taking into consideration that Portugal has also big cities, but also little towns that preserve the way the fishermen lived 100 years ago. They have these houses that are specific for this area, so a lot of cultural experiences goes from here. You have a lot of things to do every day, another thing, so you wouldn't a lifetime, it wouldn't be enough to explore all that Portugal has to offer. And this is also an important thing to me, because I wanted to have new experiences, new things to do every day, to keep things diverse, not to move in a country or in a place and just go out of that place in a year or two. So we felt that Portugal offered us the chance not to be bored in the next month or year, or even in the next 5 years. And you can do so many things regardless of what you like to do. If you like to hike, you can hike. If you like to surf, you can surf. You can play golf. You can make such a diverse activities that you cannot be bored in this country. Of course, cost of living is a main reason for a lot of persons that are making the move to another country. The cost of living that is very good comparing to any other country in Europe. And when I say cost of living for us, was not only about the fact that we are paying less for the same goods, but it was also about that we are paying less for much quality. We are people that put very much importance on quality. It was very important to have medium to high standard of life and a good quality of the food, a good quality of the product, a good quality of life in general, because we don't think that a good quality comes only from cheap things, but also you have to be very attentive of what you eat to be very good quality, not be polluted, you know, the whole discussions. This is for another video about the way the food is grown and if it's safe to eat it. So it was very important to us to find local produce, quality produce, but also on an acceptable price. We also compared with Spain. We also compared with Italy, more with Italy than to Spain. And even if in Italy, for example, you find some products that are cheaper in the south, it's not the same quality. It's not the same quality, it's not the same environment, it's not the same landscape, it's not the same package. So for us, I think Portugal was the best choice. If we stay on the subject of money, it was really important for us that Portugal is the only country in Europe that offers a type of residency that it is called non-habitual residency, that allows you for a period of 10 years not to be taxed in Portugal for the income that you made in another country. This was very important for us because we are in the late 30s. We are not really retired, we are semi-retired or trying to be semi-retired, but we have businesses in other countries. So it was really important for us that Portugal not to have the claim, not wanted to tax our money that are made in another country. Of course, you have to apply for it to have certain conditions. Not everybody can qualify for this type of residency, but we are planning to buy a house here and be residents here and not live in the country more than 180 days. So we are still making the trip back and forth to take care of our businesses. So like I said, we are not really retired here, but we live here now. If you want to know more about this, I can make a special video on this non-habitual residence stuff. Another point, a very valid point for us, was the weather. I think everybody understands that the weather is the main reason why people move to Portugal or why people move to Spain or in a southern Europe country, because of the weather. When we looked upon the countries where we wanted to move, a high standard of life and the quality of life was very important to us, so we also looked upon UK or Ireland, because I really love the landscape and the feeling and the way of life there. But really the deal breaker for me was the weather, and not just in terms of the fact that it is always raining in UK. It was not only about that, it was the temperature. I really need to be in an environment that is warm, a constant warm all year long. So this is why we kind of ran out of options in terms of what country to choose. So it was really between Italy, Spain and Portugal, and then it was really in terms of Spain and Portugal, and I think a lot of people came to the same conclusions. They really only remain with these two options, Spain and Portugal, if they want to choose EU. We look at Spain, and really Portugal seemed a better fit for us. Stress level was a really big problem in our lives, and this is why we chose to move country in the first place. So when I touched down in Portugal, the very first city that I visited was, of course, Lisbon, the capital. So it was very important for me. When I touched down Portugal, I immediately had a sense of, peace. I think peace is the word. I immediately felt at home. I felt relaxed, and I felt like I could build a life here. And it was not because it was summer, and I didn't really go in the summer. I went in February 2 years ago. So it wasn't about the warm weather, it wasn't about the sea. We had warm weather also in Spain and in Italy. It was about a feeling that really cannot be explained when you arrive in a place and you feel like home, you feel like you belong, you feel like you can start to build something there. Portugal is in the same time a country when you can feel free, you can do whatever you want, in terms of the fact that you don't have racism here. People are very friendly. If you ask for help, they help you, but if you don't want to be bothered, they leave you alone to live as you chose. So in the same time, you have a sense of community and a help you can get from the people around you, even if they don't know you, but in the same time, you are free and people don't judge you, and you can live life as you see fit, as long as you don't break the law or you don't bother anyone. And this is a very important thing and rare thing, to find community and freedom in the same place. Of course, on the subject of what part of Portugal to choose, for us was very simple, because we are very private people. I know it's funny to say that when we are making YouTube videos, but in a day-to-day life we are very private people, so it was very easy for us to choose Algarve. We chose Algarve because it's very close to the sea, and for me it was very important to live near the sea. And also we like to be in an environment with more senior people. We don't really like to be around people our own age. We like to be in a quiet environment. It is true that Algarve is regarded as the retire place for Europe. We didn't feel the need to move in a larger city and then make the move to Algarve. We like it here because it's very quiet, and the people and the lifestyle is especially drafted for retirees, and we especially like that. Maybe it's not something common for people our own age, but we came from a very stressful environment and we felt the need for this. Please leave me in the comments if you're thinking of making the move in another country, or maybe even to Portugal. What are your main reasons for wanting to be here, or why maybe you chose another country to move in over Portugal? Of course, we made the choice and we are very happy here, but it's really good to keep the conversation going and maybe help other people with your comments to move or not to move to Portugal. And I'm also very curious and interested about your view on this country, and maybe the country you are moving in comparing to Portugal. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!